If you're struggling with your curls, then make sure you're not making one of these 8 most common curly hair mistakes. I see these mistakes all the time, and I used to make some of them when I first started too. But fixing these mistakes can dramatically change your hair and give you the curls you want. In this video, I'll share exactly how you can fix these mistakes if you're making them too. Watch until the end to find out which is the biggest mistake that has the biggest impact on your curly hair journey. I'm Delilah, and I help people with curly hair like you get better at caring for and styling their hair so you can simplify your routine and wear your curls with confidence. Now, the most common mistake that I see people make is not using a product with any hold in it. And this is a big mistake because if you don't use a product with hold, then your curls are going to get frizzy and the style is not going to last. Products with hold are products that have hold ingredients like gels, mousses, jellies, anything that's kind of got like that jelly consistency. And very, very occasionally a cream will have hold, but usually they don't have any hold. So if you're styling your hair and all you're using is a leave-in conditioner or a cream or even a foam, that's just not gonna cut it. And that could be why you are not seeing the results that you want. The second biggest mistake I see is using the wrong shampoo or cleanser. And this is because a lot of people will use a co-wash and strictly use a co-wash, and that is really not cleansing your scalp or your hair good enough. Over time, if you're using a cleanser that isn't strong enough, your hair is going to get buildup and your curls are going to get flat, they're going to get dull, they can be frizzy, they can be limp, and your style just will not last very long. The Curly Girl method made it really popular to use conditioner only to wash your hair, but that really is not effective for most hair types. Most curly hair needs a shampoo, a lathering shampoo, and all curly hair, all hair types, need a clarifying shampoo to be used at least once a month. So you need to be using something that is cleansing enough to remove the dirt, oils, and product buildup from your hair so that your hair can actually absorb the water, which is what it really needs, and the ingredients that are providing your style. Now, a bonus tip that I can include here is to make sure that as you're cleansing your hair, you're working it through the length of your hair. You don't just want to shampoo your scalp, you want to get the shampoo to get through the length of your hair. You don't have to rub, you can kind of just squeeze it through the length of your hair. Just make sure that you're letting the shampoo cleanse the length of your hair in addition to your scalp. Otherwise, you're gonna have product buildup on the length of your hair, and we already know what happens with that. Now, this third one is one that I considered putting as number 1 most common, but things are starting to get a little better in the curly hair world. But this mistake is focusing on your curl pattern. And by curl pattern, I mean those curl pattern charts that have like 2A, 2B, 3A, 3C. And I see a lot of people who get into wanting to care for their curly hair and they're trying to figure out what their curl pattern is. And they're spending a lot of time taking all these quizzes, looking at pictures, asking in Facebook groups and asking online, when in reality, it doesn't matter what your curl pattern is. That doesn't tell you anything that you need to know because you're not using your curl pattern to make any decisions at all. It's, I guess, nice to know to say, hey, my curl pattern is 2C, but what does that tell you? Nothing, because you're not going to choose your products or your styling techniques or design your wash routine around your curl pattern. You're going to do that based on your hair type, whether you have dry, damaged hair, whether your hair is fine or coarse, whether you have a lot of hair or just a little bit of hair. Those are the things that matter when you're starting to choose products and create your routine. The fourth most common mistake I see is using way too many moisturizing products. And this is tied a little bit with the buildup or not cleansing enough because a lot of times using co-washes and stuff, it's too moisturizing. But not only that, people will then slather on a bunch of leave-in conditioner and curl cream and do deep conditioners once a week. And that's just way too much moisture. Most people don't need that. If your hair is damaged, then you're going to need some regular treatments. So yes, you may want to deep condition on a weekly basis. You may also need to use a leave-in conditioner or a curl cream, but leave-in conditioner and curl cream are very similar products. You usually do not use both of them at the same time, and not all hair types will need them. Some hair types don't need any leave-in conditioner or curl cream. So make sure that you're not slathering on products that are formulated for really, really dry, really damaged hair if your hair is not like that. Most people need a regular shampoo, a regular conditioner, a leave-in or a curl cream, and a styling product with hold. That's it. When you're using that many moisturizing products, your hair starts to get weighed down, it gets greasy, you start losing your curl pattern, so it's like really stretched out. If you had like a 3A curl pattern, maybe it's down to C, 2B. That's what starts to happen when you are giving your hair way too much moisture and it's not getting enough of the other things that it needs. The fifth most common mistake I see is styling on hair that is not wet enough. Sometimes people will style their hair after towel drying, or they will wait even like 10 minutes after they've stepped out of the shower to start styling. Or if they're refreshing, they're kind of just spraying their hair down a little bit, but you want your hair to be wet when you're applying your styling products. Ideally, when you're still in the shower. So it is recommended that your hair is near dripping wet. Like you don't want to apply it where your hair is so wet that it all just drips out of your hair. But after you rinse your conditioner out, squeeze out as much water as you can and then apply your styling products. You're going to see much better results this way, less frizz, better curl clumps, and better overall style. The sixth most common mistake is incorrect product usage or just applying the wrong amount of product. So again, tied in with applying your products when your hair is wet, you also want to apply your products correctly. Just simply scrunching in your product is not going to distribute it evenly. So you want to rake it through or apply it and brush it through. Make sure that it's getting everywhere. Section your hair if you have a lot of hair. Make sure it's wet, as I said before, and layer products in the correct order. Now, using the right amount of product depends on how much hair you have and how damaged your hair is. The more hair you have or the more damaged your hair is, the more product you're going to need. So if you have really fine hair, very healthy hair, very soft hair, you're gonna need a lot less product than other hair types. Also, if you have very small amount of hair. Like if you can see your scalp very easily, you don't need that much product. You also don't need to layer multiple products, right? You don't need a leave-in and a curl cream and a mousse and a gel and a hairspray. That's way too much. Most people are good with 1 to 2 styling products, meaning a cream and a gel, or a gel and a spray, or a leave-in and a gel. That's it. The seventh most common mistake I see is when people use oil in place of conditioner. So oils do serve their purpose in some hair routines because not all hair types like all oils. There are also 2 different kinds of oils. We have sealing oils and we have penetrating oils. So sealing oils are ones that sit on the hair and seal your style. Your hair doesn't absorb them. And so you have to be careful that you're not using sealing oils thinking it's a penetrating oil that's actually moisturizing your hair. Nothing beats conditioner. What your hair really needs is water, and conditioner is something that helps seal the water into your hair. Oils don't really do that. So you can use an oil to moisturize your hair as an oil treatment if it's a penetrating oil, but you can totally skip oils altogether and have amazing results by just sticking to conditioner. The 8th most common mistake I see is getting the wrong haircut. Now, the wrong haircut can cause frizz. It can really make it difficult for your curls to clump together. So it's gonna make it difficult for them to form ringlets, and it can just make the overall shape look wrong. So it can be worth it to go and get a curly haircut, a dry curly haircut, at least once, just to see if it'll make a difference on your hair type. Not all hair types are gonna benefit from curly cuts. More so, the curlier your hair is, the more it's gonna benefit. So if you're in the wavy zone, then it can go either way. You can try both ways and see. Having the right cut can really help to minimize frizz and make your styling process much simpler. So I always recommend you give it a try at least once, and if you hate it, then you never have to do it again. Okay, now we're at the last mistake, which is the biggest one I see that has the biggest effect on your curly hair journey. And that is having unrealistic expectations. So many women write to me saying they wish their hair looked a certain way, and this is what's holding them back. You really cannot have a specific goal for how your hair should look, because with curly hair, your hair is just unique and you really cannot control it. You have to move away from having the full control of how your hair is gonna look like you do when you have straight hair, when you're straightening it. That's not how it works with curly hair. All curls are different, and having a very specific goal for how your hair should look is just a recipe for failure. You will never be happy because your hair is never gonna look the exact way that you want it to look. And I'm talking about having specific goals like wanting your hair to look like a specific person, for example, having a curly hair idol, or aiming for a specific curl pattern, or aiming for a specific look that your hair is not capable of. For example, my hair is pretty low density and fine. I will never have big, voluminous, curly hair, even though I would love to have that. So if I made that my goal, I would never be happy because my hair is not capable of that. So that is an unrealistic expectation, and it's the most common mistake that I see. If you want to make sure that you don't make this mistake, watch this video next. It's called The Biggest Curly Hair Mistake. And in it, you'll learn how you can avoid making this mistake and finally love your curly hair. Just click the video you see on your screen and I'll see you there.